Alright, so we're putting the timing cover on. For full disclosure, I've done this once. I done shot the video, and when I was almost done tightening it down, I realized I didn't put the gasket in. Stupid mistake. I'm using the crank to line up the timing cover with the O-ring. Plus, I'm making sure my timing cover is level with the bottom of the block. That's very important for when you go to tighten down. As you probably already know, I'm sure this is not the first video you watched on this. It's very important when you go to tighten down the oil pan to make sure it seals properly. 18 foot-pounds is what these are. I'm using ARP timing cover bolts simply because they were cheap. Actually went to Lowe's and bought some bolts, some new bolts. And by the time I bought the bolts, it was like 40 bucks. The timing cover ARP bolt kit is 20 and some change on Amazon. I'm going to tighten these in a crisscross pattern. I'm sure there's a torque sequence somewhere. This is the only way that I've ever done it. Unless we're torquing heads or something like that, or even the oil pan, I'm going to use an actual torque sequence. This method has never failed me. I have skipped a lot of the process. I did install the crank, pistons, windage tray without it being on camera. Simply because, like I said, I'm a full-time mechanic. I've done all that in my spare time when I was waiting on a vehicle to warm up or something after a coolant job. Kind of knocked this out best I could. And I'm going back over these. I am not turning the bolt again. If you're thinking that, I'm not doing that. Just making sure it actually hit the torque and they're all even. Again, make sure these are flush. Completely level. Make sure your surfaces are clean. I'm running all Fel-Pro gaskets in this build. They have never failed me. It's not cheap, but they work, and I want it to work. I want it to last. It's not going to be a high horsepower build. It's going to be a reliable build. I'm sure you've seen some of the prior videos. What's been done so far. We are running flat top pistons. They're Speed Pro 4.8 stock pistons. The block has not been bored. Should be running with the 706 heads. We should be running a 10.6 to 1 compression. Pretty good compression. Other upgrades I've done the CHE trunnion upgrade, and I love that. Just the way it looks. I hope it works as good as it looks, because it looks phenomenal. It's got a tick performance cam, as you can see in my last video. It's going to be 660 tick springs. Went ahead and did the new pickup tube. Trying to clean out old one, man, it's just a waste of time. It's like 40 bucks, even from Summit. It's like 40 bucks for a pickup tube. Why not? I'm running and I know there's going to be a lot of debate about this. I'm running a milling, high volume, standard pressure oil pump. A lot of guys say, well, it's going to suck your oil pan dry. Sure it is if I'm drag racing or if I'm rock climbing. I've ran these before, especially in the SBCs, the small block Chevys. I've ran these before. Oil pressure runs great. I'm not getting out here. I'm not trying to race this. This is going in a 4x4 Silverado. You can look back in my previous videos, way back when I started this. That's what it's going in. It's not going to be high RPM running down the strip crazy. This is going to be a dependable vehicle, and I want my oil pressure running good, 50, 60 once it's warmed up. So that's why I chose to do that. I'm sure a lot of guys are going to disagree with me and say that's wrong, but that's what I'm doing, man. That's what I've always done. So it works for me. If it doesn't work for you, cool. It's America. Again, do what you want to. This is how I'm building mine. I hope y'all like that video. It's just a short clip. I'm going to try to film the other one. I got to put the rear crank plate on and the rear crank gasket, or the rear main seal. And to do that, I'm going to have to lift the engine off the stand, because when I put it on the stand, I didn't clearance for me to be able to put the oil diverter in the back, and that has to go in. So I'm going to flip it over, get it off with a cherry picker, put the oil diverter on, and then maybe I'll put it back on the stand and film another video. Hope you guys like that one. Like, subscribe, keep watching. Helps me, don't cost you nothing. Click some buttons. Let's get some views. Appreciate it.